gentlemen, welcome to the Tea and Crystals podcast, INT.
And I'm Kristal.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we are so happy to have you all back with us for another episode of this here podcast. Now, we got a lot of good stuff to get into, as always, this week. But before we do, y'all know how I got to start the show. Kristal, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I did promise you guys last week that I would talk about my experience so
And did.
far in North Carolina. So I thought I would get into that a little bit before we really get started. Sorry to anybody who wants to just listen to the stories. You'll just have to skip ahead. Yeah, so I got the job down there. One thing I will say, I totally forgot that I was on a 2-week probation period.
Child.
Totally forgot.
That would have been on my mind the entire time.
I'm glad I forgot because you're right. It would have been on my mind because I'm not going to lie. The first 2 weeks were tough for me. It was a lot of information being thrown at me at once, a lot of things that I had to learn. Another thing that was actually very hard was the fact that, this show has been on for several seasons and everyone, it seems, in some way, shape, or form has worked with each other before, whether it was on this show or they've worked off on a different show with people. But everyone kind of knew each other in some aspects. So they were very easily meshed with each other, knew their routines, like were very easily able to kind of fit in with each other. And I found it a little difficult for me to be able to do that as easily, especially when I'm trying to learn as much. I think my biggest thing was that I just felt like some people had an expectation of my knowledge and what I could and what I knew to do or what I could do or something like that. And I wasn't living up to it. And I could feel that, I don't know, there was I felt like I was disappointing like some of my higher ups and that really bothered me because I really pride myself on being, a hard worker and stuff like that and being a valuable member to a team. So if I feel like I'm just dragging the team down, I take that kind of hard. I've definitely learned some lessons. I definitely feel like I've been hitting my groove more. I mean, there's still some stuff I'm learning every day and, I'm bound to make mistakes, but I feel like I've started to create a bit of a routine. I mean, you're never going to fully have a routine. You never know how a day's going to go, but I feel like I've gotten better. But yeah, it was definitely nerve-wracking when my second week, at the end of my second week, I was just so, I don't know, nervous, I guess, and paranoid. Not paranoid. I was just convinced like I was not doing a good job. And I was getting a lot of advice from a lot of different people who I had spoken to about, how I could improve things for myself, not necessarily because it was true that I was doing a bad job, because people were like, you're doing fine, you're doing great, like you're a PA, you're still learning, don't be so hard on yourself. But if you're really feeling this way, like maybe you can do this, that, and a third. And it was a lot of me trying to implement those things to better myself in the long run. And that Friday, I felt like it was really coming to head, and I just needed to speak to, anyone who I felt like might not be looking at me in the best light. And I, had those conversations, and then just like an hour later, I get pulled into the office, like, Kristal, can we speak to you? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And like they close the door and they're like, yeah, so as you know, you were technically, you were on a 2-week probation. And as soon as she said that, I was like, I was on a 2-week probation. Like, this could be it. There was a second where I was like, this is it. Like, I messed up. I didn't remember that I was on a 2-week probation, and I didn't work hard enough for it or something like that. Cause she gave like a little pause after she said that. And I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause you did tell me that. This isn't new information. I just forgot it. And then she was like, and we've all talked about it. We would like to keep you on. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Like,
Mhm.
I was like, okay. And we talked about it a little bit. I was like, I took some of your advice, and I've been trying to, improve. And she's like, yeah. She was like, we all talked about it, and essentially the question was, is she eager? Is she improving every day? You know, can we work with her? Whatever. And I guess the answer was yes, because they kept me on. But
Mm.
yeah, it's just that first week I felt very unsure of myself. This week was a lot better. I felt, like I said, I felt like I was really finding my footing, finding my groove in terms of routine and stuff like that. So I felt better about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that first 2 weeks was hard, especially because while I am a hands-on learner, observation is also a way of me learning too. And I just felt
Yeah.
like there was a lot of times where I was tasked to help someone and I would be helping them. And then whatever we were doing, like, it didn't require both of us, or I felt like it didn't require both of us to have like our hands on whatever it was. So I'm like, I would step back to let them finish what they were doing, or to further observe, because I don't know. There's no instructions. Like, I'm learning on the fly. And
Right.
right in that moment is when my bosses would come around. And so I just felt like I was always being seen as just standing there doing nothing. And I think
Mm.
I even I think I brought it up to my mom at one point. I was like, I just feel like every time I step back and I don't actively have something being done, that's when they come around and they see me. And I think, well, there's no way that two of us should be handling this, but then they'll step in and immediately do something. And I'm like, okay, I guess maybe I
Right.
could have done it as
Mm.
well. But I felt like them stepping in, doing something, they're stepping in, knowing what to do. I
Mm.
would step in, like, so they do it flawlessly. Like, they do it, it's like a well oiled machine. Whereas, like, I feel like when I try to step in, because I'm unsure of myself, I'm being more of a hindrance than a help, if that makes
Mm.
sense. So,
But I
I,
think, they've been, in that position,
mhm.
so they know, like, okay, like, some shit that you learn in school, honestly, is irrelevant to the real life situation, and they don't really
Mhm.
teach you those in between things,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
stuff that you can only learn while you're there.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's good that they have grace for that and allow you
Yeah.
to feel your way through it, because once you get it, you got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think people should be allowed to have that period,
Mhm.
especially, you know in situations where you haven't done, you've been on a lot of sets and stuff, but you haven't done
Mhm.
that specific thing in that moment,
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
So it's like, bitch, let me try this. I promise you, I'm gonna get it. I promise you, but just let me get it this time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're finding your footing now, and you're getting more comfortable and stuff with it, and
Yeah. I think
they
that's
know
where
where your headspace is.
yeah, and I think that's where I worried much, because I even mentioned it in my interview. I was like, I know, I've kind of dipped my toe in the camera department here and there, but I've never been in it from like start to finish. Like, I've never been
Mm-hmm.
able to take the time to learn everything. And so, and any time that I have done camera department, there's been long stretches of time between those. Like, it was never
Yeah.
consistently. So, what I know to do on set has always been completely different than what I'm doing now. What I'm doing now is more technical focused. And, while I've seen all of the equipment that we worked with, I've never gotten to put my hands on that, because, especially in, the film and television role, if you're not a part of like the union or whatever, you're not supposed to touch them. And even
Mm-hmm.
though some of the shows I worked on were non-union, they still abided by those rules. So even though sometimes I would be in the camera department, I couldn't actually touch anything that I'm working with now. Like, it was always kind of stated, like, unless I say you can touch it, don't touch it. Whereas it's the opposite. It's like, I want you to touch everything and learn everything. Like, I want you to know this equipment like the back of your hand. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to do
Right.
that.
Right. Mm.
Because before it's like, you can touch this battery and that's about it. And it's like, okay,
Damn.
I
Mm.
know the battery, but that's
Thanks for the
it.
battery.
Yeah. So
Mm,
I've been really appreciative of this show because I've been able to get such hands on. Like I've been able to put my hands on the cameras, and they've shown me settings, and it's not just camera stuff, it's like grip and electric stuff too, because we don't have that department, so it falls under us. So I'm learning the names of some equipments that I've never known the names of
mm,
before, and how to handle them, and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, overall, so far the experience has been really great. My my crewmates, my coworkers, they're all really lovely.
mm,
They are super nice. They are very welcoming. I'm just, I'm an introverted person, me, and in unfamiliar situations, I can get awkward and kind of pull into myself.
mm.
So when I see how well they mesh together, even people who didn't know each other beforehand, and see how well they're able to get along with each other, and it's not the same for us, it's like that insecurity kind of shows up, and so I don't know how to move past that, like that,
Yeah.
like it's like I don't know how to make, I don't want to say make it mesh well, because you can't make something mesh well. Like I just I don't know. I don't want to be a bother, I guess.
Mm.
I want these people to like me, because we're going to be working with each other for the next 3 months. Um
Right.
and so I don't want to impose myself on somebody if they don't want me to be, And I'm
Yeah.
having trouble reading those cues, I guess,
Hmm.
if they do or don't. So I think I've been a little bit like held back some, because I don't want to just like throw myself at somebody, essentially, like be my
Mm,
friend,
mm.
talk to me,
Right.
let's
Yeah.
hang out.
Yeah.
Like, no, like I'm trying to find common ground in other aspects other than film and television, so that we can connect in other ways.
Right.
And
Right.
it's still week 3. We're, we're all still getting to know each other. But for the most part,
Yeah.
the people that I've been working with, especially like my camera operators and my lead AC, like she has been absolutely amazing in teaching me things. They all have really allowing me to put my hands on things. Like they'll explain things and then they'll let me do them as well. If it's not something that, well, even then they're like, if you mess up, you mess up. Like we can pretty much fix anything. Like don't worry about it. And I'm like, oh,
Mm.
is this the time? Can I do this? But they've been great. They've been really great at just, reminding me too, like, hey, at the end of the day, you're still a PA and this is a learning position. Like, you know, I know you feel like there's an expectation, but there really shouldn't be. So just, don't worry, you're doing fine. And I'm like, okay, okay.
That's a really good environment to be in, honestly,
Yeah.
and truly. And so for such an extended period of time,
Hmm.
like you can soak all this shit up and
Yeah. And
upskill and
I've
level
been
up.
really,
Yeah.
I have, for the most part, despite the fact there's been moments of anxiety, there's been moments of doubt, there's been more moments of worry, and even some sadness every once in a while and stuff like that. Mostly it's just been a really good experience so far. And I've really enjoyed learning, like finally being in the camera department and actually learning about the department, and even some
Yeah.
of the grip and electric department. You know, it's been I've been enjoying it so far, and I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to the show as a whole, the season as a whole.
I'm excited for you. I really
Thank
am. I'm like, yes, because this has been, it's you've been working towards this thing,
I have
getting in
been,
this
yeah.
department and having conversations, making the moves, reaching out, doing
Hmm.
all this stuff. So now that you in it, I'm like, I know that's motherfucking right. I know that's right. So yes, I'm glad to hear that you feel this it's going in the right direction.
I hope so,
And
yeah.
I'm looking forward to more updates if anything
Thank you.
happens, if anything arises. Hopefully nothing crazy happens.
I hope not.
Hopefully it's just good updates,
Yes.
from
I'm
from
just
here on
hoping
out.
that at this point, like, I'm just now on a trajectory up. Like, I know there's going to be
Yeah.
some dips and stuff like that, but for the most part, I hope I'm heading in the right direction, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
I'm able to stay on that path. And
Yeah.
if at the end of this, I can at least come out of it of saying, like, you know, at least being in the positive, even if at the end they're like, yeah, I don't know if I necessarily Like, it sounds bad, but I don't necessarily want to work with her. It's not because I don't want to work with her because I think she's a bad worker, but just maybe we, don't fit as well. I'll
Mm,
be okay with that. I hope it
yeah.
doesn't come to that. I hope at the end I've been able to prove myself. I've been able to show them that once I'm comfortable in something, like, I can thrive, and that will make them think like I'm willing to have her on my team anytime. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that's my hope, but you know how it is. Like, I don't want to like have an expectation of something and then fall short of it and be disappointed. I'd rather be
Right.
pleasantly surprised. But
Right.
that's my
Right.
goal.
Right.
That's my goal, is at the end of the show, any one of those people would be like, yeah, if she's on the team, I'm happy. Like,
Mm.
I know I can work with her and I know she's a good worker. That's my hope.
Hallelujah.
Thanks.
Hallelujah.
Thanks.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that update. I know I know there's people out there waiting for it because you and I have had a conversation. I've been hit
Mm-hmm.
up through the grapevine,
Mm-hmm.
people trying to get to you. So I know that these people are out here listening and they are writing
Yeah,
shit down. You never know who's out there listening.
that's
So
true.
I'm glad that
Yeah,
you
I
come
just
in
needed,
and share those things.
yeah, I needed some time to take it in. I needed to digest it a little bit and
Yeah.
have a better week to fall on before I
Right.
deep dive, because I didn't want it to seem like I'm like, this is not going how I planned. Like, it for the most part it
Yeah.
has been. It's been going very, very well. But with any
Mhm.
new job, especially one that you've been working so hard for and you're stepping into and really learning about, there's going to be ups and downs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's all part of the process,
it's
girl.
all part of the process.
All right. Well, you
We
ready to
all got
get
to
into
start
these
somewhere.
stories? You ready to get
Yes.
into somebody else's business?
Yeah, let's get
They
into
didn't got up good and up in yours. They ain't getting in
let's
mine.
let's let's hear someone else's drama.
Let's get somebody else's drama. Okay. Kristal, I'm gonna tell you right now. This one is a bit of a doozy.
Okay.
Okay. I'm looking forward to what you have to say about it.
Okay.
Um, and there is just so you know, there is an update to it, but I'm gonna let you give your 2 cents first, okay, before I
Okay.
give you the update. Okay.
Okay.
So this one is from my favorite subreddit, r/relationship advice, and it is entitled "My boyfriend, 24-year-old male, threatened to break up over Miss Dior, and now won't talk to me, 22-year-old female, because I laughed."
Wait, you said Miss Dior?
Yes, for context, Miss Dior is a perfume.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I was
Mhm.
just like, I just wanted to make sure, like, that's what
Miss
I'm
Dior is a
hearing.
perfume.
Okay,
Mhm.
copy that.
Girl, wait until you hear this. Okay. So the story goes like this. My boyfriend and me have been dating for almost 2 years now. Aside from some small bumps in the road, we have been in a very good place throughout the whole relationship. However, last night things escalated over, in my opinion, something super dumb. But he thinks differently of that and now stopped talking to me. It started when we were on the bed. We were on it does say when we were on bed, that just threw me off. It started when we were on the bed. He was gaming and I was on my laptop looking to order a new perfume. Since I stopped my job to focus on studying, I don't have much income, so I decided to get an inexpensive perfume instead of the usual that I go for, Miss Dior. I thought it'd be better to find a body spray with resembling scent. That stopped me in my tracks. As a cologne person, a body spray, girl, from the from the parfum
Look,
to a body spray.
if you do it right, if you layer things, you can stretch a body spray a little bit longer
And that's
than
the
its
problem right
usual.
there. That's the problem right there. If you layering body sprays, you gonna end up smelling like rubbing alcohol. I, don't shoot the messenger.
I'm not saying layering body sprays. I mean
Oh,
layering,
okay.
as in, if you find it's better if you can get the same scents in this, but if you do
Mm,
an oil, a lotion, and then a body mist that have similar scents,
mm.
or scents that complement each other, you can make the overall essence
Okay,
last
you
longer.
saying do a little chemistry
Yeah,
with the
type
other things to
thing.
make it smell
Smell
like
like,
Okay,
Yeah, and make
I
it
thought you were saying
last.
layering the
No,
body
like
spray. I'm about to, bitch,
bunches
you
of
trying
body
to
spray.
kill somebody? If somebody light a
No.
cigarette next to her, the whole block is gone.
No. I mean, like, say, like, for just
Mm.
a very basic, like a vanilla girl. So if you took a vanilla body lotion or body
Okay.
oil after a shower, you put or even if you did a body wash that's vanilla, then you layered it with a body oil afterwards, then with like some sort of body cream to
Mhm.
moisturize yourself in that scent. And then you added the mist onto it. It helps that scent because if you just did the mist after an hour or so, you might not smell it unless you're on the clothes.
On,
Whereas if
yeah.
you layer it like that, it will last longer, like a perfume is supposed to by itself.
And
The
you know
right
what?
perfume.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Me personally, I wear like neutral scent, like all my face
Mm-hmm.
washes and body
Mm-hmm.
lotion, all that stuff is a neutral scent because I want my cologne to speak for
For
itself.
yeah itself, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't, yeah, and I don't like a whole bunch of scented stuff. Anyway, we didn't got off on the tangent.
I'm
We
already
done forgot
defending
about.
OP. I'm like, girl, it's fine if you
Oh,
wanted the
girl,
cheap body mist,
we
okay?
haven't even gotten there yet. Just wait. So
Okay.
she says, "I'm so sorry, y'all. We got off on a tangent. Kristen, we just talking today, bitch. We just talking today." Um, she said, "I thought it'd be better to find a body spray with a resembling scent." As he was looking over my shoulder, he asked me what I was doing, so I explained. He then reacted saying I wore Miss Dior on our first period of dating, and it was quote unquote my smell, and how it's the one of the things that attracted him to me. I must admit, this made me a bit annoyed because I'd rather get the perfume too, but it's not responsible to do right now. He went on rambling on how I care more about saving money than I care about him. I said, that's not true. But then he kept saying his hypersensitivity issues can't deal with adjusting to a new scent. I said I'd find a scent similar to my old one, but he wasn't content. At this point, he said that he would have to break up with me if I would go for another scent. I found this hilarious and thought he was surely joking, so I laughed, which made him go silent. I let him be because I was really annoyed and we went to sleep. Now he left early this morning and will not respond to my texts or calls. I have no idea what to do and I'm starting to doubt how I handled the situation. Any advice? I don't.
If it was that important to my significant other that I had this, the way I would have flipped that laptop around and been like, so the payment information is right here. If it's that important to
Bitch.
you, yeah,
Here,
because
hey,
I'm on a budget
get the
and
cook
my budget
clacking.
is not Miss Dior. But if it's that important to you that I smell like Miss Dior,
Cause I'm trying to I got Miss Discount
right?
in the cart right now. I can click
I
buy.
I I got just Miss D. Okay, so Miss D is gonna have to do until I can get the rest of
uh-uh.
Dior money.
Okay. I can't afford the I, so I have Miss Door.
I got
Can
that's
we
what
get Miss Door? It's the E that makes it fancy. It's the I. I can't.
I can't. I
I
can't
gotta get the
afford that
door.
one.
Miss Door?
Like
Okay.
what, sir?
Ain't that fucking nuts?
The
Like, you gonna look at me cross this bed and tell me that my scent, this manufactured scent, bitch, this ain't even my
right?
natural
It's not
scent, ho.
sense.
I gotta
That's
buy this.
what made
I
you
gotta buy
attracted
this
to me.
70, 80, 100, 120, 160. I don't know how much Dior is.
I don't either.
Bottle of goddamn parfum. So you can be with me?
Like
What?
you're not, you said that's what I was initially attracted to, but then proceeded to prove to me that that's the only thing about me you seem to be attracted about. Like if I took this one thing away, that's it. Relationship is over. You can't do
Girl,
it.
the way I screamed laughing when I first read it, because I came to the same conclusion. I was like, damn. the only, this bitch was hanging on by a thread. And she got rid of that perfume. And you was like, cut it. I'm done. Actually, let me roll up this
Yeah.
controller real quick. And I know the controllers are wireless these days. This is for dramatic effect. Roll this goddamn controller up real quick. Unplug my PlayStation. I will
Put
see.
that in
I
the
will see you
box.
never.
I will see you never. I have to be at work at 9 a.m., but I'm getting up
Girl.
at 6 a.m. to leave.
Okay, and I'm just going to sit in the parking lot
I'm just
because
sitting
I
in the
would
parking
rather
lot.
be anywhere but here right now with
But
your
here, 'cause
non-Miss Dior smelling ass.
So Miss
Oh my
Dior
god!
from the actual Dior website is
Mhm.
$172.
I mean, that's not crazy.
It's not crazy,
What
but if you're
concentration is it? Is it EDT, EDP,
what?
eau de parfum, eau de toilette?
Eau de parfum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say if it was the toilet, I'd be like,
Now,
God
granted,
damn.
there's
Okay.
multiple ounces.
Yeah.
So the 5 ounce is 215. The 3.4 was the one that was 170.
Mm.
The 1.7 ounce is 138, and the 1 ounce is 108.
I mean, that's not bad. That's
It's
not bad.
not bad, but when you're on a budget,
Yeah, and there it is. And there it is. When you're on a budget,
and
that's a make or break right there.
you got to take something away. A
Mm-hmm.
perfume is one of those things where it's like, I can live without this for a little while.
Exactly.
I'll
Especially
get
if you
this
got other
dupe.
ones.
Exactly.
They last you for years if you're not
Mhm.
overusing them.
Exactly. So,
Yeah,
but
girl.
still, like,
Oof.
um,
Okay, you ready for this update?
I
Because you said some things that are actually going to come up in this update,
don't
and
know. Okay.
I'm
Because
excited
I
for you to
feel
hear them.
like my initial advice,
Mhm.
because they're in their early 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl. Let
Yeah,
this one go.
she's 22 and he's 24.
Let this one go. That's what I'm saying. Like over a perfume, he said a lot of things without really saying a lot, but a lot of things were said and they were not good.
Well, he has more to say. She
Great.
says in her update, after I posted this, I was a bit of a mess, but hours after ignoring me, he texted me the next day in the evening and asked me to meet up because he did not want to leave us in a bad place. I really wanted
Oh,
to talk to him, at least to clear things up, so I went to his place. When I got there, he acted a bit disappointed still, but he did say that he didn't want us to fight. I felt the same, but I also took your advice to heart. The advice, she's referring to Reddit.
okay.
She says the idea of letting him buy the bottle. However, for some context, I do think he might be on the spectrum. He's not diagnosed, but his dad is, and it would make sense. So I didn't. So I did want to show him that I do care and take his hypersensitivity seriously. Therefore, I decided to suggest that we pay half and half for a new bottle of Miss Dior, and then until that one will be finished, I'll make sure to do research to find a really good clone. He was not convinced. He told me that it wasn't my birthday anytime soon, and I explained that I understood that, but it would be a compromise for the both of us. Well, to quote his literal words, if you're such a feminist, you should be so financially also. This got me fuming. I had no words, so this time I left. As per your advice in the replies, I did some thinking about the rest of our relationship. I realized that other things in our relationship that had at the time didn't seem quite right to me were situations of him being controlling and self concerned. Situations I always considered as little things he'd mean differently or would learn from. I was wrong. You were right. I asked him to meet up today and I dumped his ass. I feel terrible right now, but I know I'm better off. So, any advice for a cheap, nice body spray? She
When I
said, fuck him, girl. Where does dupe at?
when I tell you that the only thing that saved this mug from being against this wall was my love for Stitch, Because, sir, you don't get to complain about my independence and then want me to be independent. Like, you're a feminist. You should be taking care of it. Okay. Well, as a feminist taking care of my financial situation, I cannot afford this bottle of perfume. So I will be getting something cheaper because I'm financially responsible for myself because I'm a feminist.
Because you showing me I can't depend on you for shit.
Nothing.
Bitch, I'll be lucky if you buy me a pack of M&Ms at this point.
Right? Like,
what?
What argument? What did he think was going to happen with that?
You know what? In the words of the great Miss Jill Scott, if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. Okay? That is this situation. That man told you, I can't stand your funky ass when you don't have that Miss Dior on. And she said, but I can't afford it. He said, well, then we got to get the fuck up out of here because this ain't gonna work. And then you came to him with a compromise, not even $80. If they're about $160, $80 is all you got to come up off of if it means that much to you.
Shit, if she got the smallest one, that's like just over $50.
$50. If it mean that much to you, our relationship ain't worth $50 to you. Okay. So which one of us is finna get in there and boost it? Because
OP, you did the right thing by dumping his ass because he just got worse as you explained it. Like,
yeah,
it's just worse. And
she even made the excuse of trying to put him on the spectrum. No, bitch, he is just a dick. Yes. He is just a bad person. You know what I'm saying?
He's a bad partner for you. Like, absolutely. I'm glad you're out of it.
For a lot of people,
yes.
To be honest,
yes,
he sounds like an ass. Like he ain't even put down the sticks. He ain't even put down the sticks of the goddamn game. It was judging you, bitch. I wish the fuck I would let a motherfucker judge me and my financial, my fiscal response, my fiscally responsible choices while you over here playing Fortnite.
And you know what? I guarantee you, because, you know, especially on TikTok, there's a lot of TikTok, like perfume TikTokers or whatever, who will show you the expensive stuff and then also show you a good dupe. I bet you if she had done the research, if she had found the dupe, if she had brought it to him and be like, I'm going to do a blind smell test. Let's see if you can choose the proper one. If she gave him multiple choice, I doubt he would so easily be able to pick out Miss Dior amongst array of dupes.
Now that is true. That is true. Now it depends on which dupe you get, because actually not long ago I was looking for another cologne, and I kept seeing, upon research, I kept seeing all these people mentioning this dupe that's supposed to be really, really popular. Everybody says how close it is. So I went to go smell it. Bitch, I swear for God, it was like somebody mixed rubbing alcohol with a little bit of like lavender. It was the harshest thing I ever put on my nose. And a lot of people say that the dupes and stuff, like, they're really harsh at first. Yeah. And then they calm down and then they smell really good. Or sometimes you have to let them sit on a shelf for a couple of months sometimes to let them calm themselves down. I don't have that type of time. Bitch, I want to take this cap off, get the spray, and go on by my day. Like, anybody got time for all that.
But if she had taken an empty Miss Dior bottle and filled it up with a different perfume that was very similar in taste, and in front of him was like, he would never have said anything. He would have never known. He'd be like, yes, thank you for taking my advice and
saving our relationship.
For this scent. I'm glad you saw reason.
Yeah. So thank God.
All right, moving on. Moving on to my story. This one is from Am I the Asshole? And it says, am I the asshole for wanting to leave my 32 female husband, 38 male, because I can't deal with the weaponized incompetence anymore?
Oh,
She said, this is one example from today. He has done things much worse than this and does them regularly. I feel like I have a third son, not a partner anymore. I had my son, 2 male, booked for an audiology appointment this morning at 8 a.m. I was rostered to work, so told my husband he had to take him to the appointment and then drop both our boys at daycare. Not hard. He works away in the mine, so I do things like that all the time, as I'm sure you all do too. Is it mines? He works in the mines?
because I'm sorry. I literally paused like the mines. Like who the fuck is working in the mines in 2025? I
That's what
mean, I
she
guess
said.
there's mines somewhere.
There
Maybe
are,
they're diamond mines. I don't
I
know.
guess.
Those are dangerous. Maybe they're like emerald mines. I don't fucking know. Precious metal mines. I don't know. Maybe he's
Any,
working on like the super duper secret government,
yeah, I don't
like
really.
underground where they freeze stuff so in case the shit go down, they can repopulate the earth or whatever. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know what she's trying to say. I'll just say, not hard. I woke up at 6 a.m. for work today, go in and wake him up so he's running on time, and get hit with OMG, I'm so sick. I'm sweating. I've got a sore ear. I've been up every hour. So I say, oh, that's no good. Well, once the kids are at daycare by 9 a.m., you can come back to bed all day. To be met with, no, absolutely not. I'm too sick. You have to take the kids to daycare. He hadn't taken any ibuprofen or medicine of anything, just flat out refused. So he not only makes our boy miss an important appointment, but then also makes me late for work because I normally wake up at 5 a.m. to get the kids ready and I ready and fed when I do daycare drop off before work when he's not there. I text him saying, if I get home and he's not dying in bed, he'll wish he was dead. He texts me back saying, I'm so sorry. I hate letting you down. I'm seriously unwell. I ignore him for the rest of the day, get home from work. He's not here. I ring him. He's at shops buying groceries because we have no food. He's also cleaned the house spotless out of guilt. Well, darn, that must be one of the quickest recoveries ever made. I just can't deal with the weaponized incompetence anymore. He thinks I'm being harsh and unfair. I think he's taking the actual piss and honestly have thought of pulling the pin. What's your thoughts? Am I just being a nag?
Now, when she says thinking of pulling the pin, does that mean on the grenade to blow the relationship up?
I think
Because
so, yes.
I hope
Yes.
so. Now this is a tough one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't feel good, you don't feel good.
Right.
You know, I can't as someone who has, you know, who has a small child who goes to daycare kindergarten situation. I can understand if you get up that morning, you like, God damn, I ain't got it. I ain't feeling good. Da, 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 da. But I mean, the solution would have been if I was the other partner, if she felt like being petty, she could have been like, well, I had places to be, so these kids staying here with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you finna do. I don't know if you're gonna take some medicine later and take them late,
Mm-hmm.
and I can get them later. But as far as what's going on in here today, the children staying with you. I'll
Mm-hmm.
see you this evening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, I get that he was trying. Maybe he was laying there and he started feeling guilty, so that's why he cleaned the house and went and did the grocery shopping because he won't doing that on his own. Let's be honest. That was definitely him trying to curry some favor because he knew that he really didn't feel bad
Mm-hmm.
once he got up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you will wake up in the morning and you be feeling like,
Mm-hmm.
God, God damn, something going on. But then by the time lunch come around and you eat, you be like, bitch, I was just hungry. Huh. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that happening. I wish I had more examples of him weaponizing his
Yeah.
incompetence. Because it's this one is like,
Eh.
I
Yeah.
can see it. You know what I'm saying? I wish OP would have given us more examples because then I could have really dug in his ass. But from what I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. They'd be like, well, maybe he just did feel good. You
Yeah.
know, I'm sure there's stuff that he does um, on a daily basis that gets on her nerve that's making her want to pull the pin. And girl, ultimately, that decision is up to you. If he get on your nerves like that, but just be aware that just gonna be replaced by them kids because you're gonna be the primary caretaker, and it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
no help
Yeah.
except for it's just gonna add logistics on
Mm-hmm.
getting him to help you if y'all do split up. Not saying that's a reason for you to stay with him, but just something to be aware of. If this is something that y'all can work through, something that you need to give him an ultimatum on before
Mm-hmm.
you pull the pin, you might want to go that route. Look at me telling a woman not to divorce a man. What has happened?
I don't know. Because I was about to say, like, you that last part you were saying, eh, we don't really have a lot to go on in terms of this one story. But if this is a continued pattern, as it sounds like it is, then a lot of times these women say that when they do divorce, it's actually a big relief because, like she said, that's one less person I'm now having to take care of. So it's actually more helpful for them because now they have more times on their hand. That's
Hmm.
only if the father is still involved in the kid's life, and now the kids are going to the father part-time and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, I'm for the most part I'm with you. This one instance doesn't really have me going, well. The only thing I think I would have said is, like, if you don't feel up to taking the child to the appointment and sitting through the appointment with them, fine, but take them to daycare. Take them to daycare, then come back here and lay down. Like, you can at least do that no matter how sick you're feeling. Sorry. I've
Yeah.
been, unless you're like in the hospital sick, but like there's been times where I've had fever, runny nose, chills, all that stuff, and I still had to drag myself out of bed to go get medicine because my mom was out for the weekend and there was no one around for me to do it. I bundled
Yeah.
myself up, looking pathetic as hell, like walking through CVS with my little scarf on my thing,
Mm-hmm.
going and holding the medicine and just dumping it on. And they're like, anything
Like,
else? And
ma'am,
I'm like,
are you buying ingredients for heroin? Like, what is going? What's
I'm
going on
like
here?
barely speaking, but I did
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah, the fact that you're saying you're not feeling well, but you're also refusing to take any medication and stuff like that. I'm sorry. Like, fine, you're not feeling well. You don't want to go to the doctor's appointment. You call them and cancel, and
Mm-hmm.
then take these kids to daycare, or don't take them to daycare. Like
Yeah.
you said, that's up to you. I got to go to work. This was the plan. Like, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Especially if it's a last minute sickness. Like, if you felt bad
Mm-hmm.
the night before, then I can see it because then I'm a little prepared. I'm a
Yeah.
little prepared.
That
The
there's a
kids still staying here with
possibility.
you.
Yeah.
The kids still staying here with you.
Mm-hmm.
But at least if I knew the night before, I could have set my alarm for earlier. I could have,
Mm-hmm.
we could have prepared for
Paired.
this.
Yeah.
I could have actually rolled over. Hey, tap, tap, tap. How you feeling? You ain't feeling
Yeah.
good? All
Yeah.
right. I guess I got to deal with all this shit this morning. You know what I'm saying?
Because my
But you
other
springing
question,
this. Oh, go ahead.
my other question would have been like, if this was reversed, how would he be reacted? Like,
Yeah.
would he be helpful to you, or would he be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that sucks, well, I'll see you tonight, and walked
Yeah.
out the door? Like, would he have
Because,
taken those kids to the daycare and possibly been late to his work, or is it only you?
right.
Yeah.
Because
So.
I'm telling you from experience, don't hit me with no shit in the morning. Don't hit me with no shit in the morning. If you even get a little in your, you better let me know the night before. Because if you hit me in the morning, it's finna piss me off. It's finna piss me off. Because now my plans and stuff is off. I thought I knew what I was doing today. Now I don't know what I'm doing today.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
wrench in my plans. So I get her being like, I'm ready to blow this whole house up right now. Because she was probably sitting there at work in her cubicle eating her tuna fish sandwich, typing that goddamn Reddit post like, I could kill this nigga.
yeah.
Like,
For me, it's not so much like, because there have been times where I've gone to bed fine for the most part. Like, maybe I did feel something, but I chalked it up as being something else, and it wasn't
mhm,
until I woke up the next morning that I was like, oh man, like I should have
yeah,
noticed. It's more of, what are you doing to help me rectify the situation? Like, if I wake up
right.
sick and I'm supposed to take someone somewhere, I'm gonna let them know, hey, I don't feel good. Like, but I'll reschedule the appointment. I'll
Mhm,
try to help. And as long
yeah.
as you're giving me something, and you're not just like, I'm sick, you deal with everything, covers over the head.
And that's why I said that whole cleaning up and all that stuff is because he realized, ooh,
Mm,
I fucked that
I
up.
fucked
I
up.
fucked that
Yeah.
up. And now he's trying to make it up on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
She shouldn't have gave him the chance. Them kids should have stayed at home with him. They should have stick it to his anyway. Don't pull a pin yet, girl. Don't
Mm-hmm.
pull the pin yet. Wait just a little bit. Wait just a little bit. Had them conversations with him, give him an ultimatum first, and then pull the pin.
Yeah. Or come back and tell us what other things you've done so we can be like, you know what? This was the
Okay,
last straw.
yeah. Because
This was
then
the last straw.
everything will change.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, thank you for that, Kristal. You ready to take a break?
I'm ready.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back after this commercial message. Ding. Ladies and gentlemen, T here. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Listen, we need you to do us a solid. We need you to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening. Share what you love about this here podcast and help spread the word about this hidden gem. If you have any stories that you'd like to share with us or anything that you would like for us to share on the show, please do so by sending it to our email, which is in the description for you below, or in any of our DMs on our various social media platforms. Now, let's get back to the show. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Kristal, I got a little something for us to play today.
Oh,
I think it's one of your favorite games.
I'm so excited.
Y'all, we are finna play Would You Rather, the first one of 2025.
Yay!
I'm excited about this myself.
I'm so excited.
So, if y'all have not been around before, if y'all forgot how we play Would You Rather, I'm going to ask Kristal a series of Would You Rather questions. She has to make a decision, one or the other, and they are going to get progressively more difficult as we go along. I think this batch is more introspective, Kristal. So we're
Okay.
gonna get to know a little something more about you, the way you think. And I think the scale, if we're saying more difficult, the scale is like this. It's not that.
Okay.
But the last one is like this. So just to
Of
prepare
course it
yourself,
is.
okay? All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Question number 1. Oh, let me zoom in, bitch. I'm getting old. Would you rather always have to sing instead of speak, or always have to dance instead of walk?
Oh,
Are you
because
singing or are you dancing?
I am not good at either of those things.
Girl, ooh. So there's an embarrassment factor here.
In every aspect.
And which area would you rather be embarrassed in?
I'm going to say dance. Because I can just think of some situations where me having to speak and sing is not an appropriate time. If I'm at someone's funeral trying to help and tell them how sorry I am, I don't want to be singing it to them.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Sharon was such a nice lady.
So if I can get myself to wherever I need to be early enough and just sit my ass down, I can avoid a lot of it. And let everybody leave before I get up and walk.
Yeah.
Because
but
how much of a dance do I have to do? Because it could just be a quick step to the side thing, you know?
But say you sitting in the back pew at the same funeral and they want you to give the eulogy. And then I'm gonna all the way up the aisle.
I'm gonna make it look like I'm in my moment.
You cat daddying up there in the pulpit like
they're gonna
Kristal.
Be like, Kristal's religious like that? Yes, Jesus. Yes. In this moment, I am.
Oh, so you saying you gonna hit a praise break?
Yes.
From the back to the front.
Because it's still a dance. It's still a move.
And they didn't say it was uncontrollable. So you can control the dance.
There you go.
So it could be, like you said, it could be a smooth little
side to side, a 2-step thing.
That could work. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you when you're right.
Thank you.
I'm with you when you're right. Okay. Next, Kristal. Would you rather live in a world where no one ever lies, but you can't ever tell the truth, or where everyone can lie, but you can never lie yourself. So it's a world where no one can lie, but you can never ever tell the truth. So this is, they can't lie, but you can't tell the truth. So you always lie.
So I'm always lying.
Or where everybody else can lie, but you can't lie.
I think the first one.
Okay.
Because they won't know I'm lying. They'll just assume, like everyone else, that everything is the truth. Because I feel like we've seen this movie type thing before, kind of scenario, and I feel like that would be pretty accurate. Like if they did catch me in the lie, they would just be like, that's odd, and keep it moving. Like,
but like,
it wouldn't phase them.
But what if you had like an allergy and they asked you, are you allergic to peanuts? And you're like, no, not at all.
Not at all.
And they say, you're out of here, buddy. That's where it gets sticky at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd rather be telling the truth.
I don't know.
I'm just going to live my life in a way where there's nothing I need to really lie about.
I would have to be
like that.
I would have to be like Gandhi or something. Weirder than that.
But I mean, think about it now. Is there much that you have to lie about now?
True. I don't know. Sometimes those little white lies are necessary, I guess.
Sparing people's feelings and stuff.
Yeah, because and I wouldn't be able to do that. So yeah, on the one hand, they would just write me off as being blunt. Like, oh, she's just blunt. But I don't think I would be a very liked person either.
Okay, now you're getting in the meat and bones of the situation.
Yeah. So I feel like there's more ignorance and bliss where where I can lie because they're not gonna know I can lie. They're gonna assume just like everyone else, like the truth can only be told. So I'm leaning more towards the fact that I could be the liar.
But would you rather always have people tell you the truth though? Because it's either hurting somebody's feelings or getting your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would rather get your feelings potentially hurt.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Instead of.
I think I would rather do I'll hurt niggas' feelings. Don't be talking to me your kind of way. I'm finna hurt y'all feelings. I do that anyway. Next. Would you rather be able to read minds, but only hear people's most negative thoughts? Or have the ability to control time, but only for 5-minute increments? Superpowers. Which one you want?
You know what? I probably the time thing.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
I feel like 5 minutes is really a long time in a lot of situations. Mm-hmm. So I would go with the time thing for sure.
Yeah, and if you kiss somebody and it was a bad kiss, and you be like, let's take
30. Let's take that 20 seconds.
And then when
back.
they go, and you be like, hey, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I just shit myself. I gotta go. I gotta go home.
Because if I have to listen to your thoughts, then I feel like the most negative of thoughts, I don't feel like I would ever have any friends. You could never truly, Why
are you so dark up there?
Right.
I gotta get it from around you, girl.
That's what you really think about me? I thought we were cool. Okay.
Right.
Fuck me.
Just because I eat my chips out the left side of my mouth,
exactly.
I did not know it was all
Some things I don't need to know, okay?
Right.
If I don't ask for that information, I don't need to know that information then. Sometimes living ignorance is bliss is,
Right.
So
and
yeah,
I think how we do when we get together. Mm-hmm. Let me hear one of y'all talk about, damn, he getting another plate. And now I'm ready to cuss everybody out, grab my keys and go home. Because why are you clocking my plates like this? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Did he really think those pants look good?
Right. I can see his whole left testicle. Hey! Not so much.
Man, his wife really dumbed down for him.
Okay. That's the best she could do.
That's the best? Well, he did
Eat
get her
sweet
early.
potato.
He got her early enough, I guess.
Okay. All right, last two. Would you? We're gonna skip that one. We're just gonna go to the last one, bitch.
Okay.
We running short on time. You ready for the spike? Here we
I
go.
am.
Would you rather have to drink a full glass of sweat from someone you don't know, or eat a tablespoon of toenail clippings from someone you've never met? Ooh.
So I don't know either one
You
of these
don't know the
people.
person in either situation,
I'm gagging.
but you're gonna have to either drink. And when we say glass, we talk about this. We're not talking about your little. Y'all, Kristal is literally gagging. You want to drink a glass of this?
No.
Sweat, like girl, out right up under the arm,
Mm-mm.
or you want to take them toenail clippings? Now I'm getting hold on. Now I'm getting nauseous. Wait.
Look at
Ooh.
what you did.
Oh my god. That is disgusting. Okay. Wow. I told you it was like this. The graphics.
I guess I don't even know.
Honestly.
I don't know what the
Honestly.
lesser of two
Ooh.
evil is. I guess maybe the toenail clippings.
Golly. I don't know. I don't know if I
You
can.
don't.
I don't. Honestly, truly. Okay, maybe I would go. See, I can't even finish it. Maybe I would go for the sweat.
Really?
Only if I could like chill it or something. Oh my god. I can't talk about this no more. No, we're done. We're done. Thank you all for playing along with us. Let us know in the description. I really want to know for this last one, y'all. Are y'all taking the sweat or the toenail clippings? Because we are literally over here gagging. That is fucking nasty. Oh my god.
Nasty just to think about.
Let us know in the description on YouTube,
You
in the
imagine
comment section, on
imagine
Spotify.
any new listener, like this is their first episode. Like, what the
Right. They're like, what the fuck is going on?
Why did y'all recommend this podcast to me? God.
Yes, let us know in the comment section wherever you're at. If there is a comment section, let us know in the comment section down below. Would you rather drink the sweat or would you rather eat the toenail clippings? Okay.
Oh,
Kristal, I think you are up next. Probably your
yeah.
last story.
We'll do the last story. This is from the Am I the Asshole thread, and this says, Am I the asshole for throwing my pregnant sister-in-law's groceries away? Okay. My brother and his wife, Laura, who is 7 months pregnant, are staying with us for a week or so since he's interviewing for jobs in the city my family and I are in. My kids love having their aunt and uncle around, and everything's been great. Yesterday, Laura went out and came back with groceries. I thanked her, but told her that we don't expect them to do this. The kitchen is stocked and that we're just enjoying having them. She said that she wanted to and that most were cravings she's been having. I started helping her unload the bags and noticed that a lot of stacks were with peanuts, cookies, crackers, peanut butter, even some sort of cake fusion. It all made me uneasy because she knows my eldest son, 8 male, is extremely allergic. I don't keep anything of that kind in our home because we've had an incident when he was younger where we almost lost him. I didn't want to be rude, but I told her that I'm not comfortable with having this stuff in the house. She told me that she would be careful and that she wouldn't eat it around him or his siblings and that she'd clean up after herself, that she was having intense cravings and needed them. Look, I've had 4 kids and kind of get where she's coming from, although I never had to have something, but every woman is different. I made sure my son knew not to touch any of it and to leave her alone when she's eating them. That was that. Today I woke up early to make breakfast, opened the fridge, only to be greeted by strawberries dipped in peanut butter left out without a container to chill. The peanut butter jar wasn't sealed properly next to them, and there were sandwiches on a plate where she likes the bread cold and soggy. I was pissed. I've read enough about airborne contamination to know that you can't really determine it, but I wasn't risking it. I grabbed a bag and started throwing everything in it, our groceries, hers. I didn't care. I was going to take the bag, drive to a shelter, and let them know the situation. Laura woke up while I was on my rampage, came down and asked, all upset, what I was doing. I was snippy with her and didn't try to hide it. We got in an argument with her defensively saying that I can't do this, that the baby needs it, and that it's cruel to put a pregnant woman through unsatisfied cravings. I told her bluntly that I don't give a single fuck. If she can't keep to her word, then I won't either, and that she'll live without her cravings. My son can't say the same with his allergy. She went back upstairs, packed her bags, and came back down, grabbed the bag of food, and left in a huff. My brother was at his interview and called me half an hour later to ask me what happened. He was upset with his wife, but also with me because nothing happened, and at the end of the day, my son is fine. I told my husband when he came back from work, and he's completely on my side. Am I the asshole?
Absolutely not, bitch. You ain't finna play with my baby life. Like, are you
Mhm.
crazy? I will throw you in that. You know what? Let me not take it too far. Let me not take
Careful.
it too far. However, I'm not playing by my baby's well-being.
Mm-hmm.
You, it wouldn't have been no compromise with me, bitch. We don't have no peanuts in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Peanuts. My wife. My wife. She was on the couch. She was like,
um,
I just peanuts.
you got a little promises there.
Promises. Getting real tired of your fucking peanuts. Absolutely not. Don't play with that lady. That lady was playing on your top. You gon' you told me that you won't gonna have no peanuts, or peanut products nowhere around my baby. But your nasty ass, because first of all, strawberries dipped in peanut butter, bitch, jail time. Okay, I'm calling the cops. And you're gonna leave that open in my fridge? Because I have a friend who has a peanut allergy, and I be taking the utmost precautions when it comes to her. I'm not playing that. I don't want to risk your life, child. Are you my best friend? Bitch, I ain't trying to be the one that take you out of here. Okay. So I can't imagine being that child aunt. Because I get being pregnant, I get having cravings, but girl, you gonna have to handle that in the car, go in the backyard, open this up something, open air something.
Yeah.
Because some people, even if they get the dust particles, it's flatline.
Right.
What Nicki Minaj say? Hang it up, flat screen. Okay,
And
it's
like,
over for him. Especially if they almost lost him because of it. You
yeah.
have got to be out your fucking mind.
Yeah. And on top of that, you're only there for a week while he interviews.
Yeah.
Like you can't hold up. Like you said, I understand having an intense craving for something and not being able to like think about it or whatever, or think about anything else. But like that's when it's like, okay, well then there's a local bakery that sells peanut butter cupcakes. Like, why don't you go down there and have a treat or something like that? Like, there's ways to have left the house and satisfied that craving and came back. Or just, kind of suck it up for your nephew here for this 1 week while you guys are here to interview and stuff like that.
No.
And now you're making me think, okay, well, if you guys do move here, I'm not sure if I can even have my kids come over and stay at your house for any period of time because
They not.
you don't seem to be taking his allergy seriously for you to have done all this.
Yeah. Cause we had a little kid when our little one was in the daycare half when she was like I think it was like 10 months to 2 years or something like that. And when she was really, really little, there was also another little one, and she had a whole bunch of allergies and stuff. And they always bought her lunch and stuff, but she couldn't have her stuff mixed with. And she was there for a little while, but they eventually ended up pulling her out because they were like, it's too much mixing and mingling in here. Like, we know y'all are actually taking it seriously, but we can't even in our heads relax enough because it's too much. It wasn't even a lot of kids, but it was still like too much. They needed even more micromanagement of her meals and stuff. So they ended up putting her in over here you have an option where you can put them in like a place as an actual institution, or I shouldn't say institution, that's not the right word for it, but it's
Mhm.
an actual like building that you go to. There's people who are educated in it and all that different
Yeah.
stuff, and taking care of kids and stuff.
Yeah.
It's essentially preschool, but
Yeah.
for like little teeny bitty ones.
Mhm.
Or you can take them to, some people have it in their homes and
Mhm.
they open it
Mhm.
up, and it's a really, really small group, maybe like 7, 8 kids total, and they're much closer relationships. So they ended up putting her in one of those. But I get it. Do what you got to do to keep your baby here on this side of heaven. Yeah,
Mhm.
especially if it's something as simple as, bitch, you can't have no peanut products in my home.
Yeah.
Like you said, get in that car, spin the block, eat your shit
Mhm.
in there, and do. But even I wouldn't even trust that, because
Yeah.
you gonna have the shit on your breath. You know what I'm saying? Crumbs on the corner
Mhm.
of your lips. You know, the dust and everything. Like, and it's gonna be up in that flap where the boobs hang over the belly, and you gonna move one time, and the dust gonna come from up under that titty, and take my baby out of here. I would be so paranoid. No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Not
OP,
the
you did the
asshole.
right thing.
Yeah. I completely agree.
Tell
All
her and
right.
that unborn fetus to get the fuck up off your oh, get to stepping,
I
okay?
can't with
Kick
you.
umbilical cord, little baby.
Take us out.
Okay.
Take us out.
Crystal said, it's time to go. I don't
You've done too much with the toenails and the sweat and the.
I know. It's time to get out of here. You're right. Well, thank you, Crystal. And thank you all for joining us for another episode of the Tea and Crystals podcast. I don't know about y'all, but I had me a time this evening.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
A
If
time was
y'all like
had.
what you heard, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening. Make sure you also leave us a written review. I really appreciate it. Some of y'all have been saying that y'all are leaving these reviews,
Mhm.
and I've been seeing the numbers change, and I really appreciate it. So y'all, please keep that up. But them written reviews on Apple Podcasts specifically are so important. If you haven't written one, if you left something on Spotify and you have an iPhone, just go to that Apple Podcast app, go to our podcast, follow it, and then just leave us 5 stars and a written review down there. It really helps us a lot. If you like what you saw, make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Again, shout out to our last episode. They were going up
Yeah.
about that update, and our shenanigans and my night out. It was a lot going on in the comment section. I
Yeah.
really appreciate y'all. I love our YouTube community. Shout out to
Mhm.
y'all. If you have any questions, comments, you would like to share your own story with us, or anything that you see on the internet that is worth sharing, we have the ability to share video on here. We can do it. Send them to us. We'll react to them.
Mhm.
You can do so by sending it to our DMs on our various social media platforms, or to our email, and that is teaandcrystal@gmail.com. That's teaandcrystal@gmail.com. Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook by searching Tea and Crystals Podcast. Follow us on TikTok at Tea and Crystals Podcast, and on Instagram at Tea and Crystals Pod. And you can find the links to all of those things in the description wherever you are listening and or watching. Now, Crystal, is there anything else you want to say to the people before we get the hell up out of here?
Yeah, real quickly, I meant to do this at the top of the episode, but we kind of jumped right into it. I do want to take a quick moment, a heavy moment, to officially say that the Tea and Crystals podcast sends our thoughts and prayers out to the folks who have lost their lives on the plane crash. That was, I believe, outside of DC, if I remember
Yeah, right at
correctly.
Reagan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In both the helicopter and the plane crash, it was an absolutely terrible tragedy. I know there's a lot of information being shot out, and it seems people are starting to lose the plot that at the end of the day 6 to 7 people lost their lives. And so
Say it.
our thoughts and prayers go out to them, and also to the plane crash of the child that was being transported outside of Philadelphia. Everyone on board, that our thoughts and prayers go out to you guys as well. It's been a terrible tragedy this week, and we're definitely thinking of you guys. And if nothing else, as we've said before, we hope this podcast has been able to alleviate any stresses, if only for a little while,
Yeah.
that you've been able to just kind of gotten your mind off of the heavy stuff. So
Yeah.
thank you
God.
guys.
God bless. I did want to add to that just
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, I get a lot of the news and stuff when I wake up in the morning because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
this stuff happens while I'm asleep.
Yeah.
So waking up today to see the news of the Philadelphia crash, I did not know that piece about they were trans. I knew it was a medical
Yeah.
team that was on there, but I didn't know they were transporting a child. I hadn't
Yeah.
seen that. So that just breaks my heart all over again.
Mm-hmm.
But the crazy coincidence is the way that I saw it is actually there's another show that I listened to. They used to have a podcast, but they're a YouTube show that I listened to since I was like preteen, like
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. And one of his friends who had actually been featured on the show quite a few times was right there in front of the
Man.
plane when it hit
Mm-hmm.
the ground because he's from Philly.
Yeah.
So I saw him actually sharing his friend's video saying, "Thank God my friend is okay." I didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
I just saw the fire and everything, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like,
Yeah.
girl, are they bombing stuff? Like, what is going
Right. Right.
on? So then I went to Twitter to look and see, and I just saw everything that happened. Um, I don't know what's we mentioned it a few weeks ago, Crystal, and we told people, hold on to your mental health, be there for each other. We're
Mm-hmm.
here for y'all. It's a lot of noise. I feel like it's even more noise this go round than last go round.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's possible. But I think some of us saw it coming because what is there to lose for certain people now?
Right.
I just want y'all to hold on to each other. We're gonna hold on to y'all. Y'all hold on to us. We're gonna be here for as long as we can
Yes.
to bring y'all some levity throughout the week. But thank you
Mm-hmm.
for mentioning that, Crystal. God bless
Absolutely.
all those people who lost their lives.
Yeah. And yeah. So in the meantime, thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye y'all.